Alright, welcome back to the adventures of Sendrith. Now Sendrith Resur. I did some grinding off camera and got myself up to level 20 and added my signature last name. Sendrith Resur is back on Project Quarm. And we've got an invite into a Fireplace group. Oh gosh, come on. There we go. And apparently we're going to be with a 17 cleric, and he says he's going to do all the healing. They just want us to nuke. So I'm cool with that. I assume he also wants us to buff, though. If there is to be any buffing. That is. It's going to be tough because these mobs are red. Very red, I'd say. To us. So we're going to have to see how well we can pull this off here. I'm going to change my MA and then get ready to start nuking as soon as they tell me. It must be Daedalus. Let's see if our nukes can land on these guys. Boom. That one did. Boom. So did that one. So, my buffs are level 19 cleric buffs, which the other cleric definitely does not have. So I am going to hit up our tank, Daedalus, I believe, with my buffs. Should also serve as a heal, if he already had the other buff on. Apparently not. Taking a med break here. So this should be a pretty easy grind, but it's nice to be in the Fireplace of Unrest. Should be really good XP for us. Alright, so the pulls begin. I fired 3 nukes at these red mobs so far. Here's number 4. So far all of them have landed for the entire 94 points of potential damage that I can pull off. Really nice. Really nice. We're mana stoning to keep mana up, and it looks like the cleric is healing us. I hope it's with his extra mana, because gotta make sure you have enough mana to heal the tank. So it looks like we got a Shadow Knight tank, we got a monk, 2 clerics, a druid, catch a ride, and who am I missing? Feeble looks like an enchanter, I want to say. Although she could be a necro, I don't know. Daedalus is a paladin, so she is a necro. Okay. Alright. It's going to be easy peasy grind. We're going to be basically wizarding. So I have some bad news. I was grinding what I thought were easy mobs on my hardcore troll shaman. Yep, you guessed it. I died. And the crazy thing was, I was killing these large rattlesnakes in North Row, and I had been soloing them for a while. I got like 50% off of them, and consistently, right? Consistently, they could barely get me below 90% HP, maybe sometimes 85, 80. So I go to the, I'm over by the ocean, so I go to the other side of Row, kind of close to the kind of close to the Common Lands tunnel, but not close enough, apparently. And I fight one, and I'm almost done with it. He's like at 21%, and I'm at 50%. And then, out of nowhere, get an ad. And I say out of nowhere because I was like up against the wall, and Swifty and I had been camping there, pulling mobs back to there safely for a long time. So it just didn't make any sense, but that's EverQuest for you. And so I started to run. I was side strafing and staying ahead of them, not getting hit. I had about 40% HP, but I had a weak poison on me. And sure enough, the weak poison takes me down below 20%. And I'm so close to the zone line. I'm in the tunnel, you know, approaching the zone line. But it takes me down below the... below 20%. I slow down, and both the snakes just start bashing on me. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. And I don't think I'm going to... I don't think I'm going to fire it up again, because the hardcore wasn't as exciting as I might have hoped. You know what I mean? It wasn't so exciting. And I think I would really rather do... What doing this hardcore has let me figure out is that I think I would rather do just self-found. Because then worrying about deaths makes you... Someone said this in a comment too, and I wanted to try it, but ultimately I think I agree with them. Worrying about death makes you just too careful, so you do more boring things. A. B. Solo self-found makes you do the quests, get the little interesting items, grab a group and go into the dungeon to get that item you got your eye on. You know what I mean? And it makes everything that drops off the monsters more valuable. You're collecting all the scraps to sell, and you're collecting materials for crafting. So I really feel like a self-found character would be tons of fun. And I'm not feeling like hardcore would be. And I'm not just saying this because I'm not just saying this because I died. I promise you. I'm saying this because I was saying... sorry, I'm distracted. I was saying this even when I was still alive a couple times. If you watch the video, you'll hear me say it. Whoa, now that's a pull. We better go all in on this barbed-bone skeleton. There, we nuked him 3 times. That should help quite a bit. There we go. Helping out the healer cleric a little bit. So, I'm going to talk to the guys. They might be a little disappointed. But, you know, you can always just keep going with your hardcore characters. You know. I know we started because we were going to do the group thing. And you guys can still do the group thing. Maybe I could even join you if I catch up on my solo self-found. Or not solo self-found, just self-found. But I'm hoping that maybe as we drop off, we transition to self-found. Doesn't that sound like that sounds actually kind of nice, right? I mean, am I crazy? Give hardcore a try. Transition to self-found. Now I understand Turpentine's grief when he got to level 4 and died for the 2nd time. It sucked, man. And it just feels so uneventful. The death is just so... feels meaningless, because it was just like, oh, here's an extra snake, and the one you were fighting just happened to get really good RNG. And while you're running, oh well, the poison's gonna land. It literally lasted long enough to take me to 18%. Just that long. That was the last tick that put me below 20. And I looked behind me because I'm like, well, maybe I can stop, because you know, some mobs, they run slower. Like, let's say some spiders seem to run slower, and not just spiders. Who else? Also, Sorry, this pet is almost dying. I'm trying to save it. Spiders, some spiders will run slower. And also, beetles obviously run slower. There's no question on that one. So, I was thinking maybe the snakes were the same. They seem like they run slow, but they don't. They were right behind me. And as soon as my HP ticked below 18, I started getting hit. And even then, there was like a slight, very, very slight chance I was going to make it. So I had about 13% hope left. Didn't happen. But anyway, I think we've already gotten like 10 or more percent XP here. Let's see what we get on this kill alone. 37%. Is it going to tick up? Because these mobs are all red to us. Yeah, it ticked up to 38. So I think we're getting like a percent per kill. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But we're killing fast. So we're gonna breeze through here. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna roll a self-found, probably shaman again. Now the troll regen was pretty cool, but I've always wanted to do a barbarian. But barbarians, you got the night vision problem as well. You don't have the regen. So I'm tempted to do a necro and just kind of stop my P99 necro series. But maybe I'll wait until I talk to some of these friends that I've made. See what they think, see what they would like to do, you know? Well, apparently I should have gone to a vendor. Most definitely. That's okay, we'll just put the heavy stuff. Make sure we put all the heavy stuff in the box of Alcabor, which makes their weight 0. But even with that, we're only 5 pounds away from being encumbered. Might have to delete the copper. So anyway, it looks like we're taking a bit of a med break. Gonna pause here for now. Sad times, you guys, sad times. Alright, someone came by and tossed us a clarity, so we're going to town, man. We are buffing up. We buffed up the monk as well now. And I'm tempted to give everybody in the group daring. See how mana holds up though. And we're gonna be nuking like crazy. So 39%. We got one more kill since we hit 38, so it's literally like a percent per kill. Epic. Only in this game would you say that. Hey man, I got 1% of my levels XP with that mob. Yay. Right? 40. Yeah, it's just gonna cruise. It's just gonna cruise like this, guys. And apparently we just get to chill and nuke unless things get really bad. Therapeutic seems to think he's got all the heals. But, yeah, I got a little dicey there for a second. Some people were getting... The tank was getting low. Some other people were getting hit. So I hit my assist key. And go to work. Even with clarity, I'm low on mana most of the time. I'm trying to do 2 nukes per mob. That's kind of asking a lot, though. But that's like 188 damage if I do that. Not bad. I'm gonna Mana Stone a little extra. See if the cleric tosses me a heal. Because I think he hasn't had to do much healing lately, and he's got a clarity like I do, so give him a chance to turn that mana into damage. Since he's only 17, I don't think he can as effectively nuke. he'll get way more resist than I would. So it's better if I'm nuking, which is why he said he wanted me to basically just nuke. Now I've got 10% mana left. I could do one more nuke, but I see the tank getting low. I'm wondering where the cleric is. He doesn't seem to be... Oh, there he goes. He's starting to heal up a bit. I think he was AFK for a second because he didn't heal me. The tank got kind of low as well. Just throwing a nuke here. Oh. Catch a Ride has been doing the healing. Okay. Yes, Therapeutic is clearly AFK. You can see she got hit. She's standing up and hasn't moved. She didn't sit down again. Didn't move away from the mob. There, now she's back. Just burning up the Mana Stone. No, I don't know if everybody realizes I have a Ruby BP or not. Because it seems like oftentimes when I'm in a group with another healer, they will heal me to 100%. But you gotta understand, I have a Mana Stone. I'm never gonna let my HP sit at 100%. And you don't have to heal me because the Ruby BP will do it. You know? But it looks like they are healing me anyway. Well, I'll just turn it into damage. Second nuke for this mob. Like, it would be better, it would be wiser of me to get up to at least 40, maybe 50%, and then try to keep that little reservoir for when things go bad. So that's what I'm going to do. Because if things do get heavy, I have the ability to maybe root, but not really, because these mobs are red, but I can definitely heal. But we're going to try to root this ad here. We were successful. We were successful. Now we're going to try to help burn down this mob. Just one nuke. That's what we'll do. We'll do one nuke for now until we catch up to that, get that reservoir built up. Like, maybe I should have done two, just so we could for sure take down this mob before the mez or the root broke off on this one. But it worked out. I think the mez must have oh, my root just wore off. There we go. And he was still messed. So I think the enchanter had to mez him twice. But it's alright. It's kind of a cheap spell anyway. So now we throw a nuke in on this one. Boom. Contributing to the DPS, but also hopefully gaining mana. Yep, definitely. We're at 44% now. So this is the game for clerics, and I'm not sure people really realize that. Like, there's little things you can do to increase your mana efficiency. Another one that I think is really underrated is whenever if you really want to be mana efficient, don't stand up to cast or do something unless you have to until right after a server tick. And then try to sit down. See, like right now I've got 56 mana, so I'm watching that 56% mana. It goes up to 59. I stand up and I nuke. And sit down as quickly as I can. 47 just jumped right away up to 50%. See that? And that's because I timed it just right so that when the server ticks, I'm sitting down. It's like I was medding the whole time. See what I mean? But if you're standing casting when the server ticks, you get standing mana regen, which is like you'll see it go up 1% instead of 2 or 3%. So it's a bunch of mana you miss out on if you're not paying attention to that particular aspect of it. See, now we're good. Now we're going to start nuking twice and see if we still gain mana or if we lose mana now. So we're up to 70% now. We'll give it a second for the tank to get aggro. And lay in. There's one. Oh, I was not paying attention to the tick. There's a tick. Ticked up to 65, down to 54, up to 56, like that. There we go, 2 nukes in on this one. Feels like I should do 3. I'm gonna do it. Just cause. There we go. Hit the mana stone a couple times. So this is the wizard cleric game. The wizard cleric game, you guys. And I like it. If I wanted to mix it up, I would maybe pull up a Holy Might or a Stun. I got Soothe up, so I could help with pulls, but it doesn't seem like that's necessary. We got an enchanter to Mesmerize adds, so we don't need to worry about that. Now I notice that sometimes the hat is no longer visible on a character, and it usually happens to me for some reason right after I leave a vendor. Boom. We could barely even have, we don't even have time to pull off 3 nukes on the monks. But they are the lower level mobs of this camp. I wonder how our DPS is holding up against the melees. It's probably pretty good. Probably pretty good. 2 nukes, about 188. You know. Oh, here we go. We got 2 now. Okay, now that we got 2, I'm more inclined to nuke these guys down as fast as possible. But it was just ended up being 2 nukes anyway. And this one we're only going to have time for 1 nuke, it looks like. Yep. That's fine, because we're down to 50%. That's our reservoir target. And we're only able to do this because of clarity. So thank you, whoever came to give us clarity. We would definitely be having to slow down if we didn't have that clarity. Now we're at 50% in. That's really good. It's really, really good. Let's open up on this guy. And then pay attention to the ticks. Wait for a tick this time. 63. Went up 3%. Boom. And there we go. Just went up 3% right after I sat down again. I could have nuked him a 3rd time, but we're bouncing on the reservoir. I probably should have. Yeah, look at how long it's taken them to kill this guy. Plus, these barbed bone skeletons, they have a thistles on them, barbed bones, right? So they've got an innate damage shield. So the quicker we nuke those down, the better, really. I'm starting to get some lag, which is going to make my little ghetto canny dance a bit harder to do. We're just going to chain nuke this guy, because the lag is spiking right now. Alright, we're going to hit the mana stone a couple of times. Alright, now we're ready for this guy. Boom. Mana stone. Cast again. Boom. I think we just got a refresher of clarity. We did. Wow. I wonder who this is coming here to refresh us. It's probably a guildie. Yes, Squirrels of War seem to be very into helping each other out. So we're doing good. Now we're right in the sweet spot. And the sweet spot for a cleric in a group, in my opinion, is you got a nice reservoir of mana. So that if something goes wrong, you're going to be able to do quite a bit of healing or whatever else you need to do, rooting. And you're not at full mana, so you're not wasting any time sitting at full mana. And that's wasting time because... Oh, see, here's a living mob. So we got a stun for this. That's all I have up right now. I don't have my living nuke up. I could get it up. I feel a little lazy, but I'll try. Where is it? Smite. There we go. There we go. Let's hit him with another stun first. Mana Stone, he resisted. Now we're gonna hit him with a nuke. Kaboom. Now our smite does 80 points of damage. And our undead nuke does 94. So we're only getting 14 more points of damage. People think that clerics are only good against undead, but it's not true. We're getting only 14 more points of damage on our undead nuke. However, our living nuke does cost 10 more mana. So 70 mana for 80 damage with the living nuke, 60 mana for 90 damage, about 94 damage. So it is better. But it's not like clerics can't nuke, can't solo, you know, living mobs. Okay, so now we're gonna switch out our Holy Might for a normal stun. And the reason is, we're gonna try to help enchanters mez ads. So when an enchanter's getting beat on, that's when we stun, so that they can pull off a mez. See, like right now, the skeletal monk is being in trouble. Stun him. Boom. Therapeutic's taking a beating. Heal therapeutic. Assist the tank with the nuke. Hit the mana stone. See, we're getting busy. Take a seat. See what I mean? You got a toolkit that if you're looking to use it, there's more to do than just heal. Contrary to popular opinion. Nuke, mana stone, sit, watch for a tick. There was the tick, I think I missed it. Nuke again. Alright, that's it for that mob. Looting some bone chips. Maybe I will start another character. Hardcore. If I do, I think it would be a cleric. Well, I don't know. See if anybody said anything in Discord yet. Someone's asking if anyone's on Discord, but I do not want to answer that because I don't feel like, well, it would be cool, but I just feel like talking to you guys right now, to be honest. And I can't believe how I haven't seen a single nuke get resisted or even partially resisted. Like, it's kind of blowing my mind. Like, these are all red cons to me. Feels like they should be resisting a bit more, right? Like this one, we're gonna just chain nuke down. Okay, the tank's back. I was gonna say, because the tank isn't here. Oh, he brought a big mob with him. So we're gonna chain nuke this down just to get it out of the way. So we got a big boy to deal with now. Where is he going? What the heck? It's like he's running away. What just happened? So weird. I think he was trying to come at me, and that was just pathing. Which was crazy. Totally crazy. Oh, okay. He was blinded. Alright, we got a barbed bone skeleton. We got 100% HP and quite a lot of mana, so I'm not even worried about the ticks right now. We're just going for a triple nuke on him. And we got it. We could even do a quadruple nuke on him, I think. Yep, we just quadruple nuked that guy. I was just telling a story to the paladin in our group, who is the one who is flash of lighting the mobs. He does it to help him keep aggro. Uh-oh. Hold on. Alright, time to do some nukage. Apparently my assist key didn't work. I nuked the skeletal monk, which broke the mess. But I could have sworn I saw dry bone skeleton on the assist. We're gonna stun him. See, stun is just so helpful when things are getting out of hand. Let me see if I can give you guys who are still watching this video a better view. Magic resist buff. You're right, I do have a magic resist buff. I should give to the tank, for sure. What do I forget though? I'm kinda using everything. I guess I gotta drop my other buff. Pull up an Endure Magic. Alright, hit number 1 gives us a target, Dry Bone Skeleton. So my number 1 key is just an assist key. It has /assist, and then I manually type out the name of our tank. That makes it so much easier to assist with the nukage. But next time he comes around, I'm going to start out with an Endure Magic for him. There we go. So he doesn't get ghoul rooted. I mean, he is pulling, right? Alright, 5. Nuke the monk. I think we're just going to nuke him once. We're down to 55 mana. And monks go down fast anyway. 62% XP. It's just flying up. 63 now. We be killing it. The clarity is certainly helping. So we'll get to 21 in this group when we'll be right there with Classics Ranger. I've sort of given up on the whole watching for the tick thing because the lag is making it very hard for that to be at all meaningful. And it's not horrible lag, but it's just enough. But I'm still, when I can remember it, that's such a high attention heavy task for, you know, for decent return. I mean, every tick that you're not sitting down, you lose like 2% mana. I mean, it's actually quite significant. Quite significant. But our mana's getting too high. I'm gonna chain nuke this guy. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna sit down for a second. Oh, someone is hitting me. I better move over here. Show the ad. Maybe I can finish off the Carrion Ghoul. There we go. And then people can help me with this guy. Looks like the tank's sitting down. I don't know if he's aware that we have this ad here. Interesting. Okay, here he goes. Get some vengeance on this guy. Boom. Watch for the tick. Tick. I don't know where the DPS is. It feels like I'm the DPS right now. Okay, save the last nuke. They got him. Hit the Mana Stone a couple times. Oh, he was rooted. The tank was rooted. That's why he didn't come until later. Even with our attempts to help him with that. Boom. Wait for the tick. Hit it again. Boom. There we go. So this is it, guys. Just grinding it out. I'm going to pause it until we're almost level. Alright, you guys. Just wanted to show you we picked up the Savant's Cap. We're going to lose some AC, but we're going to pick up some... mana, some wisdom. And more importantly, now we can show our hair. I really hate wearing a hat, so I'm really glad to be able to show my beautiful hair. Even though it's disappearing into the rubicite. We're almost level. We're at we're at 80% right now. Just cruising and cruising, nuking and nuking like crazy. Pretty soon, Turpentine, my buddy Turpentine, also Kilowatt in our hardcore challenge, he's gonna hop on voice. We had plans to play today, but he was a couple hours late. And now, I don't know, my hardcore character is gone, so it's kind of out of the question. but we'll see what he has to say. I don't know if he's going to try to talk me into trying again, and perhaps he will, but I gotta be honest, like, even if I do, I knew even as the hardcore was going that I think I prefer self-found. So maybe I'll do it, but it'll be kind of because everyone else is doing it now. I got to try it, and I probably should because everyone was pretty excited about it. I feel bad. And I kind of owe them at least another shot on it. And I didn't even catch my death on camera, you know? But I honestly feel like in the end, we would all have much more fun doing a self-found group, you know? I really think so. Going into like the dungeons to get, because we're not going to go in any dungeons on the hardcore characters. It's just too risky, you know? So that leaves us doing what? Out in open zones, just like hunting mobs. Someone said it in the comments, and I'm starting to agree with them. This game is just not a game for that. So classes that go well with self-found are monk, necro, and shaman. I think I still want to do a shaman, so I'm leaning that way. All right. We got a werebat. We're gonna hit him with the stun first, and then a smite. The problem is, there's a good chance we're gonna steal aggro doing that. Hit him with another smite. Because these guys hit hard, so they also resist. I think he resisted it. He resisted most of it. He was hit for 8 points of damage. Alright, let's hit some mana stone.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Just died, and then hopped on Sendrith. Yeah, it was kind of... It was such like a mild death too, you know? It's just like, oh, there's an ad, and then I was strafe running away from him, but I was poisoned, and the poison literally, I was at like 42% HP. The last tick took me to 18%, which slowed me down, and they caught up to me and killed me, literally like 10 yards from the zone line.
Yeah, it sucks. Were you in North Row, like you're talking about?
Yeah, I was in North Row. I already did like 50% of my level there, and like my HP would not go below 80%, and then randomly, one of the snakes got me down to 50% somehow. And then I'm up against the wall where we didn't see any roamers for a good while when I was playing with Wolfdar. And a roamer comes up, and it happens to be a snake, and he adds on. And then I start running. I still got like 45% HP. But again, the poison took me down to 18, and then it was over.
Yeah, the randomness of the melee life, man.
Right?
Somewhat melee like Jordan, I guess.
And if I had just gotten to 10, I was at like 87% in. If I had just gotten to 9, I would have had Sow on, you know, it would have been fine. But no, I've been thinking about it. Even before I died, I was thinking about it. I think we would have more fun with just self-found characters. Especially as a group of friends, because we're never going to go in dungeons with our hardcore characters. We're going to be too scared, you know what I mean? Whereas self-found is the opposite. It inspires you to go in dungeons because you need to get the gear and you can't buy it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Hardcore is a fun challenge if you really want that, but I don't think any of us are about being scared to play.
Yeah, right? And especially with like a group of friends like we got, like I think hardcore is maybe a better solo challenge. But with a group of friends, you want to do cool stuff, you know? Like you don't want to just sit in like the Karanas killing open zone stuff all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that shit's boring. We've all done that enough on our mains.
I think I was hoping for more excitement also from the hardcore. and it just kind of wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you said, you end up just doing um the boring thing because it's safe.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I kind of hope there'd be like more of like an atmosphere of excitement the whole time, like, oh my gosh, but I didn't really feel that, you know. So with that pro not really coming through, and with all the cons, I kind of feel bad though, because I like got everyone to start these hardcore characters, and now I'm like, screw this,
All it takes is one death to reevaluate things.
right? I feel really bad. Wolfdar like geared me up, and he retried twice, so I might re-roll once more just because I feel bad. But honestly, I'm leaning towards self-found.
Yeah, I could totally get. I mean, my guy's level 6. I don't give two shits if like I just deleted him and got out. I mean, I'll transfer the plat out to a new character, but that's about it.
You
I
are ready?
did feel a little um scummy's not the word, but kind of the word when you guys were having gear transferred and all that stuff, which was part of the rules, I guess, but it felt kind of strange.
Yeah,
So to your point, if we just did self-found, I think it would be a lot more entertaining.
maybe more what we gravitate towards, what we think is the real EQ. Because EQ is not meant for one death, and it is meant for finding your own gear more so. So I'll see what other people say. If they want me to try again, I'll try again. But it'll be out of a sense of obligation.
Yeah, see what people say. I'm down for either one.
I was thinking like
Well, I mean,
I was thinking they could just keep going until you die, and then hop in the self found, or even hop in the self found right away and have both characters. I don't know.
yeah, I don't think. I think that everybody would be amenable to it because it's a yeah. Because I speaking for myself, if I got up to level 30, level 40, like and that's a couple $100 of playtime, you'd figure.
Yeah,
And then having him die to something stupid, like when we were in Neck Forest, you're fighting one, and then all of a sudden three jump on you, and
yeah,
like
right.
how I mean, other than to your point of playing safe, and you always pulled to his own wall and blah blah blah, like it's just it removes a lot of that fun to avoid the frustration. And it's like, well, if you're not having fun because you're trying to avoid the frustration, then why even bother?
Yeah, yeah. Like there's got to be something worth it, and I was expecting the excitement of knowing that if I die, it's over to make all of the loss worth it. But like I said, I just didn't even feel that excited about it being hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, self found would be pretty cool. We would be needing to do crafts. Someone would have to be a tailor, someone would have to be a blacksmith, etc. And then helping each other out, right? Because I think self found you can trade with other self found players. I think I'll have to look at the rules.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. What about buffs though? You can still get buffs though, can't you?
I don't know. It's a good question. Classic might know because he listens to a lot of Secrets streams, and Secrets had said, "Oh, hardcore is not going to start until level 10," and that's why he said that to me, and I had that idea early on. But apparently they never implemented it. But he probably
Yeah.
knows the what about the buffs. Or you know what I could do? I'll just go in the Quarm. They have a challenge, you know, chat channel. Can go ask in there. I'll get an answer in like 5 minutes probably. In fact, let me do that right now.
Yeah, and my thing was Stupid game music's way too loud. Yeah, and that's what I was. The feeling that I was getting was, Tom was, gave himself some gear, so he wasn't didn't risk death as much. You had some gear, full banded, whatever. Wolfie had full bronze or whatever he had. But it's like you give that to yourself to avoid the penalty of death to make it easier. But at the same time, when you guys did that, especially when we had skins on, like nothing was a challenge. So it felt
Yeah,
kind of pointless. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. And I think like the price was so high that you don't really it didn't help us feel any more excitement. I think just dying and having to run and losing some XP when the XP is this slow, it's probably enough excitement.
Yeah.
And it'll be super fun us having like friggin' steel swords at best for a while.
Well, and we all know that it's punishing enough when you die in Fedor and you're bound in Kinos. Like I don't need to have my character deleted also when it's you're talking an hour recovery time for a corpse.
Yeah,
If
right.
it's in an accessible spot.
If you don't
And I
die
think
right
you made
away.
the comment earlier about Gremlin or Gemlin playing a cleric. It's like, well, when we're all hardcore, loses some of its functionality with the loss of res being pointless.
Yeah, right.
But self-found, it becomes even more valuable.
Exactly. And we're gonna be going into all these dungeons that we, at least I, haven't gone in for a long time because they're like low-level dungeons. But we're gonna need some. We're gonna pick gear we want to get. And we're gonna say, hey guys, help me get this, help me get that. Which I think is really cool. We can have little missions and quests.
Yeah. Congrats on 20, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. It's about to become 21, actually.
Nice. Yeah, I was watched your video, but I think that video, based off, I can kind of get a grasp on some of your videos when we're having conversations. Because, when you were in Unrest, what were you, 17 or whatever, with that Hazar guy or whatever, I was being stupid,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty hilarious. But,
Yeah, I did too. That's why I was glad it happened. I'm like, oh, this is making some juicy content. I can feel it.
yeah, it was just funny because I was being there was some good context around when you recorded that based off of our conversation because I had told you, oh, I just attended my first raid, and I was like, wait a second, that was like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm trying not to release more than one a day, but they're just so easy to make.
And honestly, though, I know you were kind of frustrated with that whole in wrestling, but I found it to be one of your more entertaining videos.
Yeah, and as I recorded it, I knew it would be, because stuff like that gives me something to joke about. And Unrest is a fun zone, dude. I love it, even though I've already done it so much.
So there's so many zones, to your point earlier, there's so many low-level zones that I never experience because I've always played more solo classes. So Unrest, I've screwed around in a bit, not much. Befallen, basically nothing. Like I don't even know if I've ever set foot in there. Nagina only for the boots. And like there's so many dungeons just in general. I haven't even messed around Lower Oak other than once, and that would be so cool to do with a group that it's meaningful content,
Yeah,
rather
right?
than just going and you know.
Ding, 21. Ding, 21, baby.
So did you and Classic group up on Sunday?
We did. That video is coming out sometime soonish, I think. It's in the line. We went to the gargoyles in OOT.
Oh, that's what you guys ended up doing.
Yeah, I gave him a bunch of ideas. My number one idea was the Aviac Village because they drop the gems, and I just think it's kind of a fun place to hunt. And but then I was like, oh, we also have plans. We have plans for our next session. I'm like, next time we're doing something more dangerous and more fun. And he's like, all right. But you know, Classic loves his money camps. And next time we're gonna do Upper Guck, I think. And another friend of ours, not in the hardcore group, he's gonna bring a 17 Rogue. So we'll have at least a trio that seems kind of interesting.
Sweet.
You don't
Yeah,
have
it's
any characters around that level, do you?
in the teens.
We're like 20, 21 right now.
No, no. It's either the guys at the high end now. Now that my, ranger is up there, and that's it. The only other character I have is level ones, or I guess my level 4 dude. But sounds like I'll probably just end up deleting him soon and remaking him.
Yeah, I figured. You could keep him though. I mean, he is a hardcore character. Could see how far you push it every once in a while.
I don't really care that much, to be honest. So my thought is I'm gonna get my ranger to 50, do some of the quests. Like I'm actively working on the rain caller quest now, dude. I finally finished Trusa last night.
Nice,
It
congratulations.
took 16 tries to make my damn bow.
What's your fletching at?
110.
Oh, okay, that kind of. I can't believe how lucky I got.
So I was like, so the first time, I mean, you know the quest. So I gather all the materials and stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'll grab 4 tries. I'll bring enough for 4 tries. Nope, failed. And
Sorry,
then the
sound was too
second
loud.
time, I'm like, okay, let me try
I
another four
apologize.
tries. And look, nope, failed all 4 of them. I was like, you piece of shit. So then the last time I went, I got like 9 tries, and then I got it like halfway through or something. But it was just, man, it was frustrating.
Right?
Just because of all the back and forth and everything.
Especially since you have to go get the gears and scene font.
Yep.
Everything else is easy. Just that is the time waster.
Well, for me, I probably spent more time on the damn boat going back and forth than anything.
Getting the nuts and stuff, and getting the other thing in
Yep.
Freeport.
And dude, the frustrating thing was is I didn't pay attention to the dwarven wire. So one of the times I had a buddy that was already in OOT pick them up for me, and I didn't realize the ratio. That it's 2 nuts per tonic, but you need 2 tonics per dwarven wire. So it's basically 4 nuts per dwarven wire, and I wasn't thinking of the conversion like that. So every time I went and farmed them, I would have less dwarven wire than everything else. And it was like,
And you need 2 dwarven wire to do the combine in the end, I think.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of
Yeah.
funny. I mean, it's cool. Just like you, I get more satisfaction of getting it done. It wasn't like a very. It was just time consuming, but I still feel bad that's done. Now I'm halfway through the rain caller, so
Nice.
I mean, the rain caller, at least the beginning portion of it is just running around talking to people in
Yeah.
Fedor, and then it's like. Which another thing, I've never been in Akanon. All the years that I played this damn game, I've never had a reason to go in Akanon until this quest.
Wait,
So it's been a
it
lot of
takes
fun.
you to. Oh, Raincaller takes you to Aknon. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you were talking about True Shot for a second. Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
thought
I just
about.
got.
That's actually why I'm in killing halflings, because I gave all my money to the enchanter, and I'm like, I need that 3,000 gold or 300 plat, right? So that's why I'm still killing halflings right now.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I've been making enough passive money just as I've been leveling that I'm not Wolf Dart where I have 20K or whatever and freaking belts laying around, but at least I have enough that I can just not have to worry about making money. So I have like 6 or 7K, I think 7K on my druid, and then like 5K on my ranger. So I have enough that you know, I'm not gonna go buy a bunch of stuff, but I also just don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So what are you doing right now?
Um, I just got on my ranger and was gonna go catch the boat while I eat my sandwich. But sounds like you want to make a level one. Is that what I'm hearing?
How did you know? How do you feel about that? Do you want to join me?
Yeah, no, I'm down, dude. I had the same thought the minute I created my character, even more so when I freaking died like I did. I was like, man, because I was playing him self-found anyway, other than a little bit of money, just to not have to worry about it for spells. But you know, I did fine on my druid. Mage can solo arguably better just to make money, perhaps. So I'm totally down making a new guy. Were you planning on making the same ogre shaman or troll shaman?
I was thinking about that. I maybe I should make the same guy and just switch, like, roll it over to solo self found. But I also, I really like the idea of we're all like the same race, and we all like come from the same starting village. Almost like it's a story of a band of brothers or something. So I'm tempted to do like choose my class and do whatever. Does it need to be random? But I'm still leaning towards shaman. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm gonna tell this group I have to go.
Well, you can do whatever. Like I'm just eating my sandwich, and I'll probably end up making. I've always wanted to make a mage, so now that we're away from the hardcore, I can experiment and get my ass killed and not worry about it.
I've always been interested in a
But
wizard.
I love wizards. They're just like ranger. They're not great. Though my guild is like all the officers and stuff made a gnome hit squad, which is all gnome wizards. It's pretty funny. So they're all leveling up gnome wizards because during raiding, they're pretty much the best class to be like, okay, Vox or Nagy or whatever's at 20%, come and blow it up.
Hmm.
And all the wizards run in there and they ice comment and it just dies.
Nice. So you don't have to worry
Except
about the
that,
raging portion.
yeah, except that there's hardly any ever wizards because they're just like nobody plays them. Which they're not bad. They're just like kind of like Rangers, right? They're pretty weak and classic, and then they progressively get better.
Yeah. Seem fun though. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those few classes I never played. Rogue is another one I've never played that I would be a little bit interested in, but that would very much depend on what other people are playing, and that
Yeah.
would be super tough.
Well, you're just like me, right? Where you play at random times, and a lot of times, I see how much distraction you have in the house with the kids running around and everything. That you need a class that at least has the ability to solo, even if they're not the best. But you pick a rogue warrior, um, you know, stuff like that, and you just don't have the ability.
Yeah. Maybe a paladin. Be the
I
tank.
played a Oh yeah, dude. I played a Paladin on live back in 2010-ish, 2012, somewhere around there. And he was a ton of fun, but the Paladin on of 2012 is way different than classic Paladin, like meaning one's more entertaining than the other. So I don't know if I could ever bring myself to play classic Paladin, at
Yeah.
least classic era.
Yeah, shaman. I've never done a shaman, and they seem pretty cool. Um, Necros is cool too. Could just forget about my soul self found Necro on red and just have one on here.
Well, and we could, to your point, instead of picking all the same race, because if we all pick the same race, we're limiting ourselves in some way, right? Even if you do
Hmm.
human, you can't do shaman.
Yeah.
But if we were to say, the Kinos area, that would greatly expand your options as, because you could say, oh, well, barbarians, same locale, like Eastern Antarctica or Western Antarctica or something.
Yeah, you got
But
half elves and humans that can spawn there.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm with you. I kind of am under the mindset of I'd rather play something that take the opportunity to play something I've never played before and that I would still have fun with than be forced into a class or race combination that I don't have interest in. Kind of like Levi.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, maybe just give people an option. Um,
I think it's more of like
as there's
a
something use.
more of a hardcore thing, the random.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool concept. Like it was fun watching you and Classic do it. But at the end of the day, like, you know, he didn't seem terribly thrilled about rolling a druid. I don't know how he was when you talked to him in person, but
He was thrilled about starting in Quanos. So
yeah, because it's freaking easy.
yeah, and I think he and I have never really started there before, and he took his ranger. He did his ranger there, and he was like, "Whoa, this bone chip quest!" And so many people always talk about how great Quanos is, and I never did it before either. I did a ranger to like 18, but I think there's a whole ton of quests that I didn't know about at the time. So
Yeah,
I'd
me
be interested.
too. My druid's human, and I started him when I was on vacation in Florida. That's the whole reason I got on this damn server because I needed something to do when I took the kiddo up to the hotel room to nap, and at night because everybody would be in bed by like 9 o'clock, and that's typically not me. And so I needed something to do, and I only had my laptop, with like integrated graphics and all that. And that was right after Quarm came out. So I said, "Oh, I need something to do," and here we are, 3 months later, 4 months later. But I was playing on my laptop, and I knew nothing about it, dude. And the zones. Did you play right on? Did you start Mario right on release or afterward?
Pretty much right on release, I think.
Well, then I'm sure you remember there was just bazillions of people everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it was crazy.
And dude, you know how and on Classics video who's talking about Barsoon, right? I got killed on my druid probably at least 20 times by Barsoon in like the course of a few days.
Oh jeez.
Well, it's because there's so many people everywhere, so people would see those skeletons up there and go kill them, not know anything about Varsoon, myself included, and then they would train the zone, and then Varsoon would kill the guards by Surefall Glade, and then just like in Nariak, right? You spawn outside of Surefall Glade. Well, you spawn with an aggro range of Varsoon after he's done killing the guards, so then he would just be killing people as they died, and he would just be like corpse camping them. It was freaking crazy, dude. And it would just happen all the time. So it was just not. So, but like that's an example of I had no idea about the Bone Quest, Bone Chip Quest of Kanos either.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna look them up. I'm gonna look up some more quests.
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of like that's what was a big reason to make a Dark Elf because I'd never explored Nariak and stuff, and so I still want to do something new. I just don't want to lose the character just because
I love
I
Nariak
didn't.
too, and I've only done like one character there. I don't know anything going on there either. I'd be happy to do Dark Elves too. They got a lot of choices too.
Yeah, the only thing is that I am on the fence about I want to make an Ixar or something. I don't want to make a monk. I don't really want to make a shaman because there's gonna be a bazillion of running around. I know there's gonna be a bazillion necros. So what I think I want to do on when Kunark releases, or let me say sometime during the 9 months of Kunark is level at Ixar SK. So I kind of want to stay away from an SK, but basically everything else is you know, on the menu.
On the table.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's why I was kind of like, oh, mage would work perfect, and they work in groups, and especially it would give me the ability to join you guys doing stuff if I'm doing working, which is probably a lot of the times because I don't have to pay 100% attention versus if I'm playing a tank or a healer, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm down to just delete my guy and basically remake him as self-found. And stick with the mage, or I could try a necro. I mean, but
Well, it sounds like you wanted to try a mage, and I think mage is actually pretty fun. You're probably enjoying it. I did a mage to like level 6 once.
I did enjoy it, and I remember you making the comment, not to me, but in one of the videos, like, why didn't he make a necro because of X, Y, and Z? And I totally see that for hardcore because you have so much ability to avoid death versus a mage. But if we're going back to self pound, you know, mage is kind of where it's at
Yeah,
because I
mage
don't
is
have to
cool.
worry if I die. It's not that big a deal.
All right, I'm gating out of here. But hold on, I might not.
All right.
It's late here, so my wife's sitting right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like 1 a.m. or something for you.
Yeah, like 12:30.
Yeah, I play with you, and then I play with the guy in the guild that's in the Philippines, and there's another guy in Southeast Asia somewhere. So trying to keep track of how different the times is
We're gonna call it here,
I'm like
guys.
12
Hope you liked this
hours ish,
session.
you know.
Look forward to the
But
new
I think you're like
Self-Found
what, 8?
series.
Yeah, you're about 8 hours.